this.
10 seconds left.
I'm back. Spike planted. Cutting through. Decoy.
One enemy remaining.
I'll get that spooky ghost boy.
How's it going, everyone? Ghost here, back with another Valorant guide. This guide is going to be about Yoru. Yoru's first ability is called Fake Out. He has 2 charges of these and they cost 100 credits each. So Yoru's Fake Outs are basically fake footsteps. So they imitate the sound of players' footsteps. So all players' footsteps are the same and they just imitate the sound of the footsteps. So you can either deploy them straight away, so they'll start walking like that. They sound different to allies than they do for teammates because if teammates heard them, then they get confused. So they sound different for teammates than they do for enemies. You can either deploy them straight away, as I said, or you can deploy them from a distance. So you can right click and place them in wherever you were standing at before. And then you can activate them from across the map if you want to. So just like that. And they're going off on the map, if you can see that right there. So they'll continue traveling in a straight direction unless they hit like a rock or something or a wall. So I'll just show you guys that. They're gonna run into this wall, but they're gonna slide down and then they're gonna continue going in that direction. So wherever your crosshair is, so say my crosshair is pointing over here, it's gonna walk over where around here is. So my crosshair's here, I'm gonna place it down there, slides against the wall kind of, and continues in that direction. But if I place my crosshair here and then activate it, it's gonna be a sharper turn, so it won't actually go over there even though it's sliding across this wall. It'll walk slower along the wall. As you can see on the map here, it'll walk slower along the wall and it'll keep going like, you know, until it like tries to go in the direction of my crosshair, but it'll fade out if it's like stuck up against something. So you want to have a clear line of sight pretty much. So say like I'm down here, I want to use my fake outs to fake out either me coming from there or like a push. So I could fake the push on B and go A, or I could go from B there but at a different entrance somewhere else. So, you know, a lot of opportunities for your fake outs. So you can either place 2 here, 1 down there, and then you can go to A, activate your fake outs. To activate them, you just hover over them and press your activation key. Mine is V. So just press that one. You can see the fake out's walking and he will probably think, oh, Yoru's coming here. No, it's his fake out. You can activate this one. Wait, he's going elbow to main. Okay, we'll watch that instead when you can actually be in fact planting on A. So I have a test dummy with me here, just over here. She's going to place down her fake outs just to show you what they sound like and what they look like. So the fake outs are coming. They sound pretty much like real footsteps and they look like that. So they're red instead of blue, so blue is ally Yorus and red is enemy Yorus. So that's what they sound like and that's what they look like. So another thing with Yoru's fake outs is that they also attract utility. So Razor's Boombot, Killjoy's Turret, Killjoy's Alarm Bot, they trigger those kind of utilities. So this is what it looks like.
Decoy.
Boombot goes after the footsteps and it explodes on the footsteps, so you can come up with some pretty good strats with Yoru's fake outs, and they don't take damage as well, which is also very good. Alright, so now I got Killjoy's Turret and Alarm Bot just right there. I'm going to place my fake outs down and you'll see the turret and Alarm Bot go for the fake outs.
Decoy.
So you can see it sets it off and it continues shooting. But the turret goes for whichever's closer. So it'll continue shooting my footsteps until they dissipate. So Yoru's fake outs also set off Cypher's trapwire, so if you place them too low, like jumping height, they'll also set them off, so that's what it looks like. It won't slow it down, it won't pull it back, it'll just continue tracking it. So I would usually place my trapwires around here as Cypher, so then Yoru can't accidentally trip the trapwires. As you can see, they just go straight under it. So Yoru is really good for mind games. A lot of the duelists that Valorant have produced are mainly entry fraggers. So Phoenix is an entry fragger. He has a flash and a heal, so he can flash into entry, and then if he gets injured, he can heal. Reyna, similar thing. She has a near sight and a heal. Ray, she has damage, so she's good for entering and taking a lot of fights. Jet is also good for entering because she has her dash, updraft, and smoke burst. Yoru is good for entering because he has his flash, but he's not good for taking direct combat fights, so like entering. He's more of a flanker because he has his Gatecrash and dimensional drift. I'll explain those abilities later, but he's more of a flanker or a clutch kind of duelist, just because of his abilities. Like his fake outs are really helpful in a clutch situation, really good in a flanking or rotate situation. You know, Yoru's not a really entry fragger. That's why I think people are misplaying Yoru, because they think, oh, so far all the duelists have been entry agents. Yoru's more of a flank slash clutch duelist. That's why a lot of people, you see a lot of memes about people not being able to play Yoru correctly, or people shitting on Yoru because he's the worst duelist, but just people aren't really playing him how he's meant to be played. So let's talk about Yoru's second ability now, his blind side, which is a flash. Yes, it's a flash. Valorant has put out so many flashes, so many blinds. It's gonna be a disco party one day. So Yoru's blind side is a flash that can bounce off walls. So bounce off walls, bounce off grounds, any surface. So you throw it, bounces off, and you can flash around the corner just like that. You can even do a bounce off the ground just like that, and it pops. So this is what it looks like if you flash yourself. People are going to hate this, I'm going to hate this, but this is what a flash looks like. Just like that. It bounces off the wall, and you have a considerable amount of time to look away from it, so it shouldn't really affect you that badly. So Yoru has two charges of his blind side. They cost 250 credits each, and it's pretty much a flash that just bounces. If it doesn't bounce off anything, it'll just disappear. So I'll throw it into the air. It just disappears because it hasn't hit anything. Throw it against the wall, it bounces, just like that. Alright, and Yoru's signature ability, Gatecrash. So unlike the other duelists' abilities except Reyna, they need to get 2 kills in order to recharge the signature ability. Yoru's signature ability just has a cooldown. So his Gatecrash, similar to his... Oh my god, my internet. Okay, similar to his decoy, he can put them down in place like that, so he can walk away from them and then teleport back to them, so he can go far away. This is how long the teleport lasts for, so once it finishes, it'll disappear. So you can teleport back to it if you press the activation key or whatever your signature button key is. So just teleport back to it and you'll end up back here. It is a pretty loud sound, so it does make a loud noise when you teleport back to it. And with Yoru's Gatecrash as well, similar to his footsteps, as I said before, you can cast them forward as well as putting them in place. So to put them in place, you right click. To cast them forward is left click. It's the same as his footsteps, so that's easy to remember, no getting mixed up. So you can place it up against the wall, it will just go in the direction of your crosshair, so just along here. Ignore that one, that's the test dummy. So it'll keep going until it hits something it can't go anymore. And then I'll just teleport back to it, just like that. Okay, so now the enemy Yoru is going to place down their TP in the similar path that they place their footsteps in. So as you can see, I was in the proximity of the teleport and I saw its location for a little bit. It stopped here, but it continues in that direction. I can still hear it, so if I follow in that direction, I'm in its proximity and I can see it. I can also shoot out Yoru's teleports, so I can destroy it. Just like that, and it's gone, and they can't teleport anymore. So I can destroy Yoru's teleport. If you don't want to camp it, you can destroy it. Yoru's ultimate ability is his Dimensional Drift. So his Dimensional Drift costs 6 ult points, and it looks something like this.
I'll handle this.
So once he does this, he is invisible and intangible to any gunshots and any enemies, unless he is up close to them. So once he activates his ult, so you can press X and then walk around with this, but once you left click, your ult begins. So I'll left click. You gain increased speed. You can also teleport back to your Gatecrash. I'll show you guys that later. But yeah, you gain increased speed and enemies can't see you or do damage to you unless you're within close proximity. Then they can see you, but they still can't do damage to you. They can interact with you, so you can't like ghost through them. They'll still be able to like body block you or something. But yeah, just stay away from enemies if you want to use that ultimate ability. So I'm going to place my Gatecrash down here, and then I'm going to ult. So I'm going to ult, and if I encounter dangerous enemies and I don't want to challenge it, I can always just teleport back to my Gatecrash, and I'm back here safe with my ult still intact. And then I just wait for my ult to cancel. If I want my ult to cancel manually, I'll just press X, and it brings me out. Another thing with Yoru's ult, the enemies can see you if they're within this blue dotted line here on the ground. The enemies can see you if they are within that area.
Next.
Okay, so the enemy Yoru has ulted. I see him because I'm in proximity of him, and then once I leave his proximity, he disappears. So then I want to walk up to him, and he should be right there. Well, he can move anywhere he wants, but, you know, I just told them to go in that forward direction. So the enemy Yoru has ulted, and I can see him once I become close enough to him. And I can also body block him, but I can't do damage to him. So he can't move from there, but I can't shoot him either. I just have to wait until his thing expires and hope he doesn't have a TP placed down to get out of that sticky situation.
Please don't die.
Time to jump.
Spike planted.
Over here. Out of time. I'll handle this.
One enemy remaining.
I'm back.
Let's go!
Also, very important note. Whatever you begin your ult with, so say I have my knife out and then you press your X and then ult,
I'll handle this.
you will end your ult with your knife out.
I'm back.
So if you're expecting to be in a gunfight, make sure you have your gun out before you start the gunfight. So say you're running and then you wanna ult. Press X,
I'll handle
you ult, you push in, there's an enemy right here, cancel your ult,
I'm back.
you caught with your pants down, your knife's out, they got the gun, they hear you come out of your ult, and you're basically dead because you have your knife out and you can't do much from there. So make sure you have your gun out before you ult, because then once you have your gun out, and then ult, and then end your ult, your gun will be pulled out. So I have made that mistake a bunch of times, and I've always hated myself for doing that. And now I've learned from that mistake, because I always make sure when I ult, I have my gun out, and if I'm not sure, I'll always run back to cover. So that is a very important thing to note if you want to play Yoru and ult as Yoru. So, now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about Yoru on Breeze. So, as I said, Yoru is a good duelist for flanking and playing mind games. So, usually if we go A, I'd either go halls or just through caves to A, or it doesn't really matter which way I go. I can either go cave or shop. But usually I'll either go here or up to halls as a flank. So what I want to do, I want to push around the corner. I want to clear it first, make sure no one's holding it with an op. Usually if someone is, I'll come around here. So usually on like pistol rounds or something, I'll come around cave area. But if it's full buy rounds, I'll come around here. And then I'll pull out my teleport, chuck it down here, and then I'll pull out my flash. And then I'll peek the corner around here and then flash off the pyramid and then teleport. And I'll teleport around here. And then I'll look here first so I cleared the box, because usually people would generally camp the box. And then I'll also be able to clear this area and back here. And if it's dangerous if someone isn't flashed, I can always hide behind the pyramid, because I would have cleared this if no one's there. So I can hide back around, clear that, come back here, check if anyone's there. So this is a really good position to get yourself in. So what I do, when you another thing I forgot to mention is when you teleport as Yoru, you'll teleport the way you're facing. So if I'm facing here and I teleport, I'll end up teleporting facing forward. If I want to look behind me, say like over there at the boxes, I gotta look behind me and then teleport, and I'll end up looking behind. So I'll show you guys that again. I'll do the same thing. So throw my teleport, pull out my blind, throw the blind, and then teleport like that, and I have a clear shot there. I am covered here and I can see this here. So you can either do a blind for backside or a blind for that particular area there. I would do a blind for that particular area there because I'm going to most likely clear that. So what I do is throw down my teleporter, throw down my blind, here at top, and then basically cleared it. So that's a really good thing to do if you want to do a push, an aggressive A push.
Cutting through. Nice.
Spike down mid.
Surprise.
If you want to do a flank, if your team has a main and one's watching the flank and you want to do a flank, get up here onto these boxes here. I wouldn't grab the rope, because once you grab the rope, you have to expose yourself to this angle here for a second if you want to do a sneak. You can also throw down a teleporter if you want to. So once you get up here, you throw down the teleporter. I don't usually do this because someone might be watching halls and they'd hear the teleport.
Time to jump.
So this, also another thing I forgot to mention, because I am very dumb. This blue dotted line here is where they will be able to see your Gatecrash. So if you're within this area of the Gatecrash, you'll be able to see my teleport thing. If you're outside of it, you can't see it. But it is very loud, and if someone's watching this angle here, they will hear the Gatecrash. So I'm down at the end, and if it's a very risky play, I might do it if we're up by a fair few points. I will do this generally sometimes, so I'll throw my Gatecrash down there, pull out my gun, and then I'll teleport, and then I'll throw my flash out here just to clear this, and then I can push out, clear it, and then either challenge anyone if they're mid, challenge anyone if they're holding holes, and then I can probably get someone probably camping at the back, because my team would be keeping them busy and I would have holes control if there's no one holding that.
Spam this wall.
Cutting through.
Planting.
Alright, now defending A. If you want to defend A as Yoru, I suggest holding at the pyramids here, because a lot of Yorus would throw the teleport down to get backside control, but they wouldn't do it here, because this is a more safe spot to do it. So even if you do a late teleport, your teleport would stop around here and you'd still be safe. Whereas if you teleport here, you're really exposed to there, and even stairs. So boxes here, stairs there, pyramid here, and right there. So there's a lot of angles to cover, whereas if you teleport here, all you have to do is check for boxes, check for this, and check for that. Even though you have one less spot to check, it's one less spot to check, so you know what I mean. So what you want to do is stay here. If people are pushing and they're going to push hard, then you pull out your flash, throw it against the pyramid, and it flashes like right above the middle here, so you get people pushing out and they're blinded, and you can get the picks easy because they have nowhere to hide unless they fall back. But if you know they're pushing out hard, you can throw your blind, flashes, and then you can get the picks easy. If I want to do a risky play and I know they go mid, I'll throw my teleport down here, I'll get my flash out, throw it along the ground, and teleport with the flash pop. So the flash pop is to mask the sound of me teleporting. So I want to time it so my teleport lands right here. I don't want it to go all the way along the wall just in case people aren't flashed. So if I'm here, I'd usually have either a Vandal or a shotgun. A high-powered gun would be best. So I'd either have Vandal or a shotgun, and then I'd peek out and get the picks here. And then usually I'd do this with my ult as well. So if I get the picks and there's too many people and I'm overwhelmed, I'd just ult out of there, or maybe ult around and find a different position. So I'll ult and then either find a different position around the back, try and slip through the defenses if I get a clear line of sight, and then, you know, pick them off if I can. So I'll show you guys that in full. I'll just buy a gun. So for this I'm going to use a Vandal. So place my teleport there once the barrier ends, put down a flash, and then that was lag. I masked the TP sound with my flash. Someone peeks me, I get the kill there. They're not suspecting me to be there because the teleport sound is masked by the flash pop. Get another pick here miraculously, and then too many of them, there's 3 there. One's there, another's over there pushing me, and another's just here. I managed to dodge them. And then my ult ends, I get the pick there. I have fake out, so I can put down my decoys, and then I can either fake them out by going this way, or I can pop a flash to get the close corner, you know. Whatever floats my boat, whatever the situation is. Alright, so we're attacking B now. Usually, if I'm not playing Yoru, I'll come here to get the snipe. But if I am playing Yoru and I want to do a risky play, I'll come here, let the people at window take care of it and clear it, and then I'll get my teleport, I'll chuck it down the back of here, and then I'll bring out my flash. I'll look on the minimap to see where my teleport is, and then I'll chuck my flash. Once it pops, teleport, and I usually get this pretty clearly because they would be flashed around here, because the flash would pop around this area. So if they're not hiding around that corner here, I can come here and safely kill them there. If someone's hiding at wall, I might get traded off, so I'll get a pick here, but then I'll get traded off. Or if they're not really suspecting of that play, I can get the kill here. If someone's also here, I can get that play. So a lot of opportunities for Yoru. A lot of risky teleports, but you just got to be smart with them. You got to know what the situation is, where the people are. If you want to teleport, don't put your teleport along here. So when you teleport there, that's a risky teleport, because if someone's holding back here, they would see your teleport and they'd most likely camp it. So you don't want to throw it down in between this gap here. You want to throw it here. People would also be here. I hold this as Killjoy. So if someone is there, that's also another risky play. But you know, once a few rounds in, you'll know where people camp and where people hold. So once you know that, then you can start doing this kind of play or different plays, whichever one suits you. Another play I like to do as attacking on B is to do a alt TP. So what I do is I'll come through window and then I'll put my teleport down and go through arches. So I'll let my teleport run all the way through arches, because you know, might catch someone at wall, someone might see it around pillar, someone might be even at the arches. So then I'll do that, make sure my gun's out, you know. I'll do that, alt, and then I'll ult, and then I'll teleport, and then I'm in my ultimate form. So if they're camping my teleport, I would have ulted and they wouldn't have seen me once I run away from them. So they'll try and shoot me in my ult, but they can't. They'll see me, but they won't be able to shoot me. So then I'll run away from them, try and lose sight of them, and then I'll try and find a safe spot to uncover my ult and then pick them off. So that's a really good bait teleport if you want to do that to get a free pick. Or if you want, you can do a really obvious one. So down here you can do that, and then you can ult.
I'll handle this.
You can even put it down here, so it floats down here and people will try and camp it. And then once you do that, you can uncover and then get the kill here if they're camping it, because people really like to camp Yoru's TP. Alright, so generally I don't hold B if I'm defending. I usually hold A or hallways. So if I do hold B, I'll put down a teleport here if they're pushing hard. So I'll hold back here, and if usually people would want to clear this. So if they're pushing here, I flash this, get a few picks. If people are really pushing me and I'm being overwhelmed, I'll just teleport away. So I want to play it safe, I want to play with team. I'll try and get a pick and I'll teleport away if possible. It's a pretty basic plan on B, nothing too special, but yeah, that's what I'd do if I was holding B. A really good play that I've done a lot of times when I watch halls is place down a teleporter here at the start of round. I'd want to usually shift walk up halls, because just in case anyone tries to come up halls, they don't hear me pushing up. And if people go mid and you know they go mid, I want to get the mid pick. So I'll come here and then I'll place down my footsteps to activate this trapdoor here. I won't throw them down straight away. What I do is I place them down and then I pull out my flash and then I activate them. Trapdoor opens, flash out, and then you can drop down. So if anyone notices the trapdoor open, they'll look to it, but then I'll pop the flash and then it'll flash them. So that's a really good trick to do if you want to do a mid take. And if you have your ult, that's also really good, because if you're overwhelmed, you can ult out of there. So that's really good. I like to do those risky plays if I have my ult, because if it doesn't work out, I can have my ult to back me up. If I die, then I have my ult for the next round if I want to do a different risky play. So I'll show you guys that all in one go. So I'll place it here, shift walk down with my gun out just in case someone pushes. My teleport would last that whole time, so I don't have to worry about it. That's also another way out if I'm
decoy
in a sticky situation. So just like that, get a few picks if I can. If I'm overwhelmed, teleport back here. You can see it was just about to run out, but I still have plenty of time. If it does run out, I would use my ult, but I try to save that as much as possible. That's why I use my Gatecrash there. So yeah, that's a really good play for mid if you want to do a mid attack. So Yoru's abilities are really good to use in combo, as you just saw with my setups for A, B, and attacking A and B, defending mid and all that, you know. They're all good to use in combination because Yoru is a very versatile agent and he's really good in flank situations, clutch situations, and just being aggressive in general, but not too aggressive because he can't heal. Like, aggressive in picks, not aggressive in taking on a large amount of enemies, just aggressive in picks. So he's really good for that and psyching out his opponents. I've got a few clips of some cool Yoru tricks that I've done, and some of them, most of them are on bind, some of them aren't on bind because, I mean, what am I talking about? Some of them are on breeze, some of them aren't on breeze because I'm in Yoru on breeze, but I've played Yoru on other maps just to test out what he's good on and what not he's good on. What am I trying to say? I don't know. Anyway, that's Yoru Guide. Hope you liked this video. Did you subscribe? If you did, good job. If you didn't, go subscribe and like the video as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.